All right, welcome everybody to Your Ultimate Mastermind. It's been a little while since we had a chance to sit down and chat. How's everybody doing? Welcome. We are live on my Facebook feed. You're part of the audience. You guys can comment away. Do me a favor, share this video, host a watching party. We're going to be here for basically an hour. We aim to be no more than 60 minutes because after that, me and my lady have some dance practice to go to.
Hey,
And
that's supposed to be a secret.
We're just gonna play chess. It's no big deal. Anyway, so we're excited to be here with you guys.
And this is our first time to have it here in our new office.
This is our first Your Ultimate Mastermind in our new address. So what you see behind us is the meditation area of our place. Okay, we have Steph coming on. Hey, Steph, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey, Steph.
Just going to and just let you guys know, so we're live on the Facebook and we're also on the Zoom. So Steph has joined us. She's on the Zoom. She's gonna have a chance to speak if you want to, Steph. If you want to just enjoy and just be with us, it's fine, but it's great to have you with us. And we're also live on Facebook. So if you don't want to come live, you don't have to, but the link is in the comments. You guys can absolutely join with us. This week I wanted to talk about what holds people back. When I do a numerology group session, I ask people some questions, right? Some pretty standard stuff. One of the biggest questions that I ask, I'll tell you the question I ask. What's your full name that you were born with? What's the name you're using today? What's your birthday? And what's the name you're using for your business? So this is the information I gather for a group session, okay? And then I ask another question. And the next question I ask, this is the topic of what we're going to do tonight. What's the biggest thing holding you back or the biggest challenge that you're experiencing in your business right now? Now, that's a loaded question. That's a big time loaded question. So
it can be more than one or just the biggest?
It can be more than one. I mean, obviously, if it's more than one, you obviously got a lot going on. I get it. Just like that's what life is, where we just, we have to deal with that. In my life, I always know that I've got more than one thing going on. So I know that there's not always just one challenge that I'm dealing with. I'm going, see what I'm doing, guys, for any guys who don't know, I'm running a group session on Saturday, and this is for the Diva Boss Tribe. And I've collected about, I don't know, it's 25, almost 30 people in the group so far. And we're going to, align you guys. We're going to basically give you guys names you can use, and we're going to help you guys move forward in your business. And so when I asked that to everybody, I got some interesting things. And I think that you guys can relate to this because, it's life. This isn't just, we're all in the same business together. We're all doing this, we're all on this path together. And it would pay a lot of value to be able to, share with you what everyone else is dealing with, what everyone else says is their biggest problem, what everyone else is going through. These are the entrepreneurs that you're working with, guys. So I'm not going to put anybody's name out there. We're just going to keep things nice and, anonymous, if you will. But except for us, we're definitely going to show up. And Steph, if you definitely want to share what your biggest challenge you're dealing with right now, could be different than the challenge you were dealing with a year or two ago. That's fair. But what about you, Sal? Do you want to start this off and let us know what's the biggest challenge that you have in life or you're experiencing in business? You want to start with that?
Yeah, sure. Well, in life or in business, my biggest challenge is balancing my time so that I could, if I work on my business, I feel like I don't want to feel guilty not taking care of my children or my family. So it's more about balancing or managing my time effectively in a way that I feel productive. I feel like I'm doing something.
That's so tough, right? I'm right here with you because, obviously we live a life together and we build our family together, we build our business together. But wow, right?
Yeah,
that's a big, huge one.
Yeah, before I had children, I used to be able to maintain the house, clean the house, and I'm so used to that. So now that I have children, on top of taking care of them, I have to make sure everything's clean everything's organized,
Mhm.
and that way I feel better inside me. Like I can really think properly and work on my business and myself. To me, that's important. So I can't just work if I feel like, because it's like the house is like your skin, right? You're first, and then whatever you're wearing is like your second, and then the third is like your house.
Your environment.
Yeah, my environment.
Yeah.
It's like it affects me.
That's why I was so interested in creating a really powerful office, because obviously I feel the same way, and your environment, it dictates a lot about what's about what you're going through, what you're dealing with. I There's a couple of things in here that are really powerful. One is the reality that Beyonce only has 24 hours in the day. Jay-Z only has 24 hours in the day. Balaj only has 24 hours in the day. Bobby and Sally only have 24 hours in our day. Like, nobody has more time.
But the difference is what your situation is. We all have different situations. Like,
I will.
Some people don't have children, and we do. So that's the difference.
I think that what I would like to do is find someone who has 4 kids, a young family, who's dealing with the situation we're dealing with, and still making the success and not using time as an excuse. Not to say that you're using it as an excuse, because you're not the only person. A lot of people do this. A lot of people are here. And so you're not alone. If you feel like you don't have time to plug into yourself or into your business because you're too busy, taking care of the house, you're not alone. And if you think, okay, so what about like the really powerful people? Like, what do they do with their time?
I think they really they work on their priorities first, because you only have so much energy. So the first thing they want to make sure is you prioritize your business probably, and some people, they prioritize their children first. So whatever your priorities are.
I'm kind of the guy who can't really work in a huge mess. If my place is a really big mess, I don't feel motivated to work. So I'm curious, if and that's a common thing with really successful people. What would be a solution for? I mean, you kind of already know this, but think about this, guys. What would be a solution if you wanted your house to be a priority, or you needed your cleanliness to be a priority, but you get tired as shit trying to clean this thing all day, and you're cleaning something, and then you've got 3 kids behind you making a bigger mess, and the little baby's burping and spitting on you at the same time. It gets dirtier faster than we can clean it.
Well, we got the answer for that. We hire someone else to do that, and we do what we do best.
This is a perfect, and I guess it's not really easy for everyone, but we looked at this, and I'm like, you know what? If we had Minor says, pay someone to cook, clean, and watch their kids, bing, ding, ding. That's
exactly.
This is the boss level solution, is to think for 6 hours. Hey, Kyles, what's up? How's it going? Welcome. For 6 hours, we can basically what we could do is we could hire someone for 6 hours, 8 hours. We tried a few people, didn't work, wasn't exactly what we were looking for. We weren't satisfied with the job. We ended up relying on her mom, who works a lot already, and it's tough to have you in once every few weeks. So the solution for this is to enlist your weaknesses, or enlist the technical, the mechanical things, the stuff that is taking up your creative time and space should be done by a professional or someone else. Perfect example. Sally's like, oh, the feng shui in these rooms are no good. We have to paint the rooms. And I'm like, I'm a man. I'm like, I'm going to paint these rooms. I'm going to do this. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to paint the room. And yet I painted it anyway. And then I basically spilled paint on the floor. I didn't do a good job. I got paint on the other things. And I was just like, this is so time consuming. It took me 2 days to paint 2 rooms, and they were small. Okay. So I was embarrassed by my inability to paint. And I felt 2 things after I was done. One, the sensation of accomplishment, to think, hey, you know what? I'm glad that I did this. And 2, if I had paid for this, I would not be satisfied. So I knew that I had done at least a good enough job to prove it to myself that I could do it. But I came out with a smile and a big, huge grin on my face. And I'm telling Sally, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never painting again. I'm not ever. And she's like, oh, you're an artist. You like to draw. And I'm like, it's not the same thing. This is not the same thing at all. A pencil, me drawing a picture of Spider-Man, Iron Man, Batman. It is. I could have done that inside. I'm not even going to get started on what that would feel like if I was to paint the room with Batman on it. That's just like, I don't think so.
It's just a kiss,
This is like one job, brah. You had one job. It was just crazy because you know what? I mean, as men, I'll hand it to the ego. We want to satisfy our women. We want to say that we can do things, that we can be Mr. Fix-It. You know, and you guys know me. I'm a numerologist. I'm a wealth coach. So I help people inside of their mind. This is where I do the painting. This is where I actually get a chance to do the construction, is inside with my words in my mouth. And I can't talk to my walls to get them painted. But if I go and work for a couple of sessions and I go and actually produce some income, now suddenly for 2 hours, I could go and get a really powerful professional job done. The guy comes in, floor carpets everything. There's no weird looking green or purple spaces or whatever color that shouldn't be where it shouldn't be. And I could have saved myself 46 hours, or I guess that's stretching it. It was like, you know, like what, like 20 hours, maybe it took me almost 5 hours. Oh, I don't even want to talk about
maybe
it.
5.
It took me a lot of time. Okay, so basically about 10, 15 hours. So I don't even want to look at it. And then the time, effort, money it's spent to go and get the thing. Then the fight with the guy at Lowe's. And I'm like, man, like all for.
You lost that opportunity cost.
I lost the opportunity cost. All of that so that I could, you know, show up for my woman, and my ego could be like, oh, you know, I painted these. And it was a sense of accomplishment. I absolutely, you know, like I felt like I did something. And we even argued. She's like, you don't want to do it? Fine, don't do it. And I'm like, no, this is fine. Well, she wanted to do it. She did. She's like, okay, let's do this together. She kind of like does one little thing. She's like, oh, cool. Okay, bye. And that was it. Like, it wasn't like you were in there with me, coveralls, overalls. Like, it wasn't like that. And
I could have worn
you could have worn your, no, those are too sexy. She's got a little sexy short overalls with shorts on them that are coveralls at the same time. But yes, anyway, so you know, what I'm trying to say is when you have something that needs to get done and it's a non-negotiable and it's going to take up your time, could somebody else be doing this? I mean, I'd like to think that I'm going to train my kids to do their own laundry, that I'm going to train my kids to do their own bed. We're halfway there. Stanley likes to do his bed. But if you can instill these and inspire these as responsibilities in your children, imagine the ramification or the long-term effect of you outsourcing, saving the money on smaller little things, and getting your kids involved, like the snowball effect of how you are experiencing your time can be like you get them involved. And they love to get involved. They love to, especially Jen. The little one loves to get involved. She loves to help. She loves praise. These are kids. And this is who we naturally are. Like, we're protecting that little inner child, or we beat it down as we've grown older. Okay, so you're not alone if you're dealing with a time thing and you want to balance it out. That's currently what we're doing right now. Is like, and another thing, I'll show you guys another thing that shows up on inside of my life is handling your calendar. Okay, so this is I'll show you. You can't really see this too well because it's like, okay, here we go. So this is like what my calendar usually looks like. I've blocked out my times. Okay, I've blocked out my schedule so that I know when to wake up. I know when I need to go to sleep. I know when lunch needs to happen, and I know when all of this stuff needs to go down inside of my family, so that I can be present for those things and not be like, oh, it's time for breakfast, but daddy got a session and I got to go into work right now. So time management is about setting the expectation for yourself the same way you would set time to go to the gym or set time to read. Or your boss is going to set you time for a time clock in, isn't he? To say, hey, get into work, get at the office. Where are you? I'm paying you. You got to be here. So obviously we're going to see there's going to be a value of your time, whether you like it or not, whether you're in control of it or not. And I don't even need an alarm clock. My kids wake up 10 minutes before I'm supposed to. So they're always there to make sure that things are going to get happening. But it's about me taking the time to recognize this on the front end so that I'm not dealing with, and I was dealing with this before I was organized, was like, oh, shoot, I've got a bunch of things to do and I never have the time to do it. And Sally's like, become less available. And that's not the first time that I heard this. was I've become less available so that your time is worth more to you. And it really is. It absolutely is. Because, Sally's like attached to the boob with this little kid. So she's feeling like I can't really do very much. I've got to do more. I'm also running the business. She's running the household. She's basically doing all of the like administrative, all of the paperwork, paying all the bills. Like and we still don't have enough time. So, and then I look back and I'm like, you know what? We're never going to have enough time. We're never going to have enough. We're always going to want more. We're always going to want to spend more time free. We're always going to want to experience more of our own quality time. I believe that's like the measurement of success and wealth is how many of your moments are in quality or how many of your moments are, painting walls. Shouldn't I be paying somebody to do this?
Or like your time more focused on, because there's always that one thing that you are really taking massive action on, right? Like what Grant Cardone.
Yeah, we're listening to Grant Cardone lately. So he says that, if you're not succeeding in a certain area of your life, chances are there is a certain area of your life where you're spending a lot of extra time. And when I first heard this, I'm like playing games on my phone while I'm listening to an audio. And this is basically, I'm like, oh shit, that's me. I'm like I'm deprioritizing my business and I'm prioritizing my playtime, my fun time, and my needs to be free and needs to have fun for me time, which wasn't productive for my life or my business. So I get it. I understand that. And we're all growing through these. The reason why I share with you guys what we're doing is so that you guys are like, oh my God, like we're not alone. Like this happens to people all the time. And this isn't just us. And, and this is what helps bring us together. So if Kyle's or Steph want to join in the conversation, we'd love to hear from you guys. No obligation. You don't need to. If you guys want to leave a comment or drop down what the biggest problem or thing you're experiencing in your life right now, we can have a chat about it. I'm going to go through. Miner says, guilty. Absolutely. Especially when you want to be a parent and you're just like, oh my God, I want to, like have kids and I'm going to be a parent. And then next thing you know, all of your time is gone. And it's hard to do stuff when my son is crying and I'm like, no, you have to attend to my son. And she's like, oh my God, my boobs are going to fall off. And this feeling is just like, I get it. You have to extend and overextend yourself for periods of time in order to live the life and the power that you want. You can't expect to get super freaking wealthy in life if you're not willing to put in the time. So if I want my kid to grow up in power and consider my son's happiness as a factor of my wealth, well, I have to make sure I'm present for him. And that's like one of the biggest problems that parents have is because we want to make sure they're going to the classes. We want to make sure they're doing their activities. We want to make sure they're loved, happily, healthy. They're always fed. They're hydrated. And it's like your own real life Tamagotchi. Okay, if you guys remember that little keychain of that pet, if you don't take care of it, it dies. It's like a real life Tamagotchi. Okay, so crazy. Steph's putting up her hand. Do you want to talk or do you want to?
Yeah.
Hey,
I have questions.
How's it going?
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Tired.
Well,
It's late here. Yeah. So what if you have the opposite problem? I know I'm not on the camera because the light's on, so you can't see me anyways. But what if you have the opposite problem? You have so much time that you don't know that you don't know where to put.
So what? Are you like procrastinating, or you're just not doing what you should do?
No, like there's so much time. There's so much time that, like you guys are short in time. Like you could use more time because you have so much going on. I have a lot of time and I don't do anything. So how do I get myself in order to do prioritize things, or I write them down, make a schedule of like a daily schedule or a weekly schedule?
You just answer your own question. But think of it this way.
Is that what I do?
Well, I mean, think of it, right? Like if you got a lot of time on your hands and you're like, shit, what do I do with it? I would probably look at role models, people who you know, like, and trust, people who have the success that you want. So you're looking at the people inside of your business who are like, that's the one that I want. I want to do it. What are they doing that's so successful? And I would say, just off the top of my head, there are things like listening to audios, there's journaling, there's making a schedule, there's creating disciplines, routines, going on exercising, attending masterminds, being here, getting active, writing, doing go lives on your thing, creating videos. You know, like there are different like pieces that are called like income producing activities, and then there are other activities that you can do that will like better you as a person. And I remember Matt Jang says this a lot. He's like, you can take the same ad, the same word, the same post, and one person's will put in and the other person's won't. It's because the person who's doing the inner work is the one who gets ahead. So for me, I have that situation too. A little while ago, I wasn't working, didn't have a job. I stayed home with my parents, and I was basically just sitting on my bed. I stayed on my bed out of like a really nasty depression, doing drugs, basically playing video games, just not paying attention to my business, didn't care to go to work. I had a really big like I suck in life kind of mentality, and it was eating away at me, and all I had was time. And I basically like ended up, and the little money I did have, I would spend on drugs, and I would also spend on like an app, like a video game app, where I would just basically buy gems and roll for heroes, or like, you know, it's like a lottery to win a character in a game. And I've spent like hundreds of dollars. I would imagine I'm in the thousands of some of the stuff I've spent on video games. But like I guess, you know, and then it boils back down to the single question, you know, where do you want to be in life, and where do you want to go in life? And if that doesn't move you to action, it's probably not a big enough goal. I mean, and that's not like uncommon. We always are told to stay within the, you know, probability and what's possible, and don't go too far, and don't dream too big. And, you know, if you don't reach your goals, you know, you're gonna be disappointed and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you're just not running away fast enough from like mediocrity. And not just you, Steph. Like, we all do this. This isn't just like, oh, there's something wrong with you. Absolutely not. You're standing up to say, well, what should I be doing my time? There's a daily method of operation. If you were Mr. Walmart or Mr. Costco or not Future Shop, that's over now, Mr. Best Buy, or like Mr. McDonald's, you know, there would be no question about what you're doing on a daily basis, because you've got a system in place. Inside of our group, it's easy. There are videos, there's community, there are posts. You know, you could spend like the first, this one comes from Balaj. You spend the first part of your day in meditation and reading and learning things that are applicable to your business that you need to do that day. And then throughout your day, you've got stuff to do. You can pop posts in. You can take time for reading, or take time for writing stuff, or going live, your content. And then in the evening, you can focus on reading or listening to things that are ready for your mindset to help you grow as an individual inside, and to think like a success, and to be that success on the inside. And it's kind of like a loose framework, but I'll share with you mine. Okay, so before the kids and everything else sort of happens, I basically 7:30, my alarm goes off and says gratitude. So I basically like go into this awake state, being like, and Sally's like, oh, we never talk about this and this and that, and I'm like, it's in my head, and I absolutely am thinking it to myself while I'm waking up, how grateful I am for my woman, how grateful I am that I'm alive, that today's the day, and that things like I'm gonna be patient today. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna make it a good day, and like today's gonna be powerful. What do I have to do today? What's on the thing to do? Okay, I gotta get the key, and then that's it. 10 minutes later, that's it. Like, I've basically got to get up, and so I give myself a little look in the mirror. I give my honey kisses. I say good morning. I feel like I'm giving myself a little bit of self-love or self-service. The kids drop. I grab water, and I basically start feeding them breakfast and get ready for school. So I get them their breakfast. They're ready. It's part of my routine. And then by like 9 o'clock, so an hour and a half later, all of them are in school except for the little ones. So both of them are in school, and I'm back home. Okay. So at this point, my schedule says Gaz business time. Now, this is really loosely held because I don't always run my Gaz business. Sometimes I'm taking care of some emails, or I want to go back to bed, or I'm not done resting, or I take time for myself, or something else gets in the way. I've got to do errands. I've got to run around and do stuff. So time isn't going to be so strict that just because it's there, you have to do it. If you fall off a little bit, I get it. That's fine. But the reality is that I've set it inside of my schedule to know that it's there, to know that it's absolutely part of the framework. And I'm just going to color outside of the lines because that's who I am. Then lunchtime hits, between 11 and 12. We make our lunch and we basically eat again. And then I've got sessions until I have to pick up my kids. And then I come home, more sessions, and then it's dinner. And then depending on the day, it's either webinars, more sessions, or, doing this. And then now that we've added in our
Dance practice.
our secret secret chess class, basically I'm putting together things around myself, and I'm trying to keep myself as busy as I can, because I remember the feeling of being in the fire of procrastination, just burning my time as if I'm watching it just sort of speed through the clock. And I remember doing this, and I was just so depressed. I was like, fuck it, I don't even care. I'm single, I'm depressed, I don't like my life. I just want to die. I just don't want to be here anymore. I'm just going to wait my time out. And, lo and behold, the universe was like, I don't think so. You're going to be great, bro. You'll be great. And then Sally comes in and she's like, oh my God, you're so great. And then next thing you know, my clients come in like, Bobby, you're so great. And it builds one thing at a time. But one thing I can really pull from Grant Cardone when he says this is to get out of obscurity. So if you have lots of time on your hands, write a blog or write posts or share stuff, share other people's stuff, interview people, get out to your social media so that when people start to see you or they look at you, that they have something to see about your progress or where you're going, what you're learning, where you're going from. And this is actually something that other people sort of deal with too. But I wish I had that problem, Steph. I'm having too much time. I used to have it. And now I regret not capitalizing on it, because now that I don't have it, and it's so easy to do this, where it's like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side, or look at, they have it so lucky, or this, I wish I had that problem. And it's like, you know what, be thankful for the problems you do have, because some people out there are like, shit, I have to work, I don't know how to prioritize my time. All I know how to do is work for it and then drain it all for a babysitter, and then I have to go back and work again. And so having much more time than you know what to do with is a good thing, I think. But also, I guess a nice gift for you guys, in case you're learners, readers, leaders, would be tinyurl.com/GPM library. Okay, so www.tinyurl.com/ not // it's implied, it's the internet. So then GPM library, it's my Dropbox, and I have a bunch of audios that I listen to. Sometimes it goes off because too many people download from it. So if you can get in and you can download some stuff, or you can get a list of books you want to go and buy, absolutely a wonderful way of doing it. And another really cool thing that I've started to do was I turned my radio. We had Sirius XM because it came with the new car. The subscription ended, and I turned on my Bluetooth and basically listened to my audios. Whenever we drive, we're listening to Grant Cardone right now. Before it was John Gray, How to Want What You Have and Love What You, or Get What You Want and Love What You Have. Wonderful audio series, in case anyone's looking for a good one. But wonderful, wonderful sort of realization that you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of who you are. And if you're like a garden, and if you're looking at this garden and you're like, man, I have so much time, and like I'm not rushed, or I don't have to do all this stuff. And then you see the next person over who's like, I got this and this and this, and I'm pruning this tree, and I'm gutting that, and I'm replacing this, and I'm growing that, and I'm bringing in more tools, and I'm building my garden. Which garden do you think is going to grow? And I like to think about this like my two gardens. I've got my spiritual garden, and I have my physical garden. My physical garden has always been a challenge for me. I've always wanted to lose anywhere from 10, 15 to 25 pounds, and I've always been able to think that was one of the things that was holding me back, is the discipline to move. Now I get so bloody exhausted, physically tired, and I'm still not attaining that goal because I'm not figuring out what it takes in order to do that. And Sally's like my support system, where she's like, let's go vegetarian, let's eat healthy, let's cook the healthy meal, here, have water. So I appreciate you so much for that, honey. Without you, I feel like I'm lowering your average and you're raising mine in terms of physical. I'm the lazy one, and she's the one that's like, I want to be vegan, I want to be completely plant-based, I want to be pescatarian, I want to be like, I don't want to eat red meat. And then these are the stages of vegetarian that she goes through. But it's helpful to me to surround myself with people who want to make healthy choices. Okay, so this is a really big thing.
Or choices when it comes to what's negotiable to you and what's non-negotiable. I think the difference between us and Steph is like, we have so many things that we have to do that are non-negotiable.
Oh yeah.
And then you just have to add that to your life, whatever is happening in your life. That
I'll tell you something, Steph. If you have to go to the bathroom, you're going to be like, sorry, guys, gotta go to the bathroom. You're not going to sit here and be like, oh, my God, I have to pee. Like, there are certain things you're not even going to think about.
Make it a duty, right? Like what?
Make your duty a duty.
No, success.
Make success a duty. Absolutely. Make success a duty for sure. And start small. I mean, really.
That's actually one of Grant Cardone's saying. Success is my duty.
Yeah, and moral obligation and responsibility to make success out there. I was like, oh, man, this guy's awesome. Absolutely love listening to Grant. I'm listening to 10X right now.
And then you have to 10X everything.
Yeah, that's a philosophy on its own, is to commit and just like go completely full out massive action. A lot of people misunderstand this. Say, oh, yeah, it's 10X everything. You're like, you're not even 2Xing it. Like, we gotta, to 10X would be like insane. And I'm like trying to fill my calendar, but I go crazy. I'm like Kyle's here. She's like, I'm guilty of procrastination. So guilty. And like Sally gets irritated with me when I don't do things because I'm like, oh, I'm tired and I work with people and I'm like, oh, I just want to relax and like not like, go overboard with this. And she's like, I wish you were more self-motivated, and that feeling of you becoming a self-starter. Well, and then she goes and she's like, oh, if it was about video games or if it was about going to get some food or something that doesn't serve you or going to do a session, suddenly you're super motivated and self-started to go in that direction. And I'm thinking, shit, you're right. And I'm not trying to hide that. I'm trying to grow. If I was like, no, that would be me not owning and not taking responsibility of myself. Like, I would rather own up and be like, yep, I procrastinate. I like to be lazy. I like to not, do all that stuff. I like to keep a nice work-life balance. The successful people are going to roll their eyes at me, be like, dude, you're missing half the day. Like, you got to get up earlier. I do. I'm the first up. I'm the last down. Actually, I can't even say I'm the first up anymore because the kids do get up before me. But before that, I was up before them. But now I'm absolutely always last down for sure. But it's because I'm more active in the evening, I guess. I don't know. But now that it's tough because I like to think I'm more active in the evening, but I'm so drained from the day. So I'm like a zombie. And it's like, you're building a family. And that's one of the biggest things that Spirit keeps sort of telling me is that, like, you're going to sacrifice and you're going to make sacrifices to help your kids along and to help get them somewhere. And that's one of the most biggest investments I would imagine for sure. Can you throw the link in the comments? Sure, why not? Let's try this. Let's see if I can do this here. It'll go www.tinyurl.com .com/GPM library. This thing goes off very easily. So in case you can't get in there and it says, oh, there's too much traffic or we shut it down, private message me and I'll give you another link. Okay, so you guys can get into it. But amazing. And just a quick sort of disclaimer, you download something from there, you're stealing it. So make sure you buy the book, or you actually go to Amazon and you buy the actual physical copy. And then you know that you have this and you know that you're supporting your author. Support the mentors who are actually like helping you grow. And sometimes we need to do it for free. I get it. We're the age of Napster or whatever, peer-to-peer. But the reality is that if you can give and you can pay your way in, you're going to experience something that the person who does it for free will never understand. And that's skin in the game. When you actually shill out your own energy and say, I'm going to literally invest in myself, it actually it has an energetic purpose that the universe responds to. So procrastination, I'm guilty of that. I'm so guilty of that. I know you are. I know you probably don't want to admit it.
I'll raise my hand later.
You'll raise your hand later. But you know what? Honestly, like I'm just gonna. This was probably gonna hit deep. I'm not sure if it's gonna go over your heads at all or over your mind. This might be a little bit too big for you guys, or maybe not. Who knows? I'm not gonna judge. But our core beliefs and our programs are based on what we were born with. So when we're like 0 to 5 and we're being told what to do, what not to do, what a good boy is, what a bad boy is, what a good girl is, what a bad girl does, needing to be corrected and disciplined, we become fearful of following our dreams. We become fearful of speaking up. We become fearful of going after our success, because usually when we go out to go and achieve something in our life, a response is included that we're not going to be successful, or that we're going to be limited or blocked, or someone's going to tell us no. And imagine the world we live in. We're trained to be obedient. We're trained to have jobs. We're trained to be employed and, get careers. We're trained to be average. And so when you're standing out and you're not going to be average, next thing you know, you're going to ruffle some feathers, and people are going to judge you, and you're going to lose a little bit of that social self-esteem. She left. Oh, too bad. Bye, Kyles. And, we can be afraid to be seen, afraid to be heard, afraid to be judged, afraid of all of that. That thing can happen to us where we want to speak up. We want to join a business. We spent thousands of dollars on it. But then next thing you know, we're like, I got to get all the laundry done, and I got to get all the dishes done, and I can't do anything unless my house is clean. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, we're writing goals down. And I'm like, we got to hire a house aide, someone to do things. And she's like, we did that before and it didn't work. I'm like, we weren't clear on our intention. Now we want to start with a list of things that we want to get done, like clean the floors or and Sally's like, we got the bender, the little Roomba, like the thing that cleans the floor for you. So she said, we already got one of those. Like, we're not going to hire someone to clean the floors, and that's what they're going to do. Well, we need someone to wipe the surfaces. We need someone to clean up after us. We need someone to do our laundry. The poor laundry machine, man, that thing never stops. It's like getting load after load after load. I'm like, man, you are a slut. And that machine just is on all the time.
I'm glad they're still working.
They're amazing machines. These are Sally's machines. We don't just deal with the appliances inside the rental house. Yeah. Sally's like, no, I bring my own stuff with me, and absolutely. And this is the nice thing I like about her. She's got a fine taste and quality and a very rich taste for quality, and that's my type of gal. There's a reason why we're getting married, is the feeling that I'm like, I don't want someone who's just gonna be like, who cares? And I made a small chip on the table, and we just got a new office set up. I'm just gonna really show this to you guys so you guys can sort of see my new office setup. Okay, and the tables got chipped, and then Sally's like, oh my god, you need to fix this. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. It's a really big, huge baller ass desk that loops around the entire office here, and I'm super blessed to have it. But these are the things I need to do to put myself in a good mood, to put myself in a powerful thing. I would want to, and Kyle's is gone, so I'm not going to talk to her anymore about the guilty being of procrastinating, but not the only person to say that. I'm gonna just quickly put this up, so maybe I can find someone else who's been saying the same thing. But let's see what we have here. Finishing projects. I'm great at starting things, but I never finish, both business and personal. This is, we put things off, and we put things off. Why? Because maybe there's a part of us that doesn't, there are people said things like, you could be afraid to be successful. And what would that mean? You have to actually accept the value that you're worthy, and that you're worthy of success. That's a huge one. And people are we feel like we're not, and we feel like we don't deserve it, and we feel like we're something's blocking us, and really it could just be a program of fear that our parents who were young, who didn't know what they were doing, instilled on us because they ran out of patience. And think about that. There's nothing wrong with your sense of achievement. There's nothing wrong with your ability to create something. There's nothing wrong with your own personal value that you give to the universe. And yet, because your parents didn't have the patience, and I'm guilty of this, that we put a fear program on our kids, or we tell them, no, you have to listen or you're in trouble. I take away the game, or I take something away, or you're going to get in trouble, you get punished, or you get sent to your room. And this feeling is to think that we don't have anything else we can do but exercise our power of, I'm bigger than you, and I'm going to take this away from you. So we get a fear about people in control, that if we were to step into our own control, we would turn just like our parents. Our worst nightmare is to turn just like our parents. I would look back now and be like, man, if I'm half the dad my dad was, if I'm half the man, I will be grateful and thankful for the value that I can provide to the world and the universe. Oh man, because I recognize now, and I guess that's what you get when you have kids, is you no longer take it for granted, and perspective comes that you get a chance to see that's there. So I know it's a little bit deep. Your childhood's messed you up. It's a big idea. A lot of people deal with this, and it's because our flight, and our freedom and our expression was batted down, squashed, slapped, hit. I know in my case, I had immigrant parents. It's exactly what they did to us, and like they got it even worse. But the reality is that if I don't take responsibility of that, I'm going to be living in that shadow. And I've been seeking mentors. I've been seeking coaches. I've been seeking people to help me deal with and help me grow outside of these things that have been holding me back. So when I work with someone, I tell them things very similar to this. It's not about knowing that this is true. The marker of actually being able to acknowledge this and move forward from it is having the right support with the right level of open heart, with the right level of open mind. It's a concoction, a recipe of like, you can't do it for yourself. I would suggest you pay for someone to tell you what you need to hear, what you've been telling yourself. Like Steph's like, so what should I do? Just make a schedule and set my disciplines and a journal and this and that. I'm like, yeah, actually you answer your own question. And this is what we do in life, is we answer ourselves. We absolutely know what the answer is. We just don't want to, for some whatever reason, face it or take responsibility or take action or actually move forward with it. We procrastinate. We push it to the side. Oh, tomorrow's another day. We'll figure it out then. Or why do today what you can put off till do tomorrow? The entrepreneur is like, how do I get someone else to do this for me now? Like, I don't need to do everything. I just need to get someone else to do it. And that's what leaders do. That's what wives do. They get their husbands to do stuff. And I'm like, I want to be obedient. I want her to give me praise. I want her to be like, when she eats food, I'm waiting for her to be like, she's eating, and she does that. She's just eating. She's like, oh, this is good. Or sometimes she's like, wants to be polite, so she won't say anything, and she's just going to eat it anyway. But, the reality is that we're all seeking for approval. We all want that. Why not seek it from yourself? Why not actually build a relationship with yourself that travels back through time? You can do this on meditation. You can hire someone to do this for you. You can go on YouTube and do a timeline regression or a timeline guided meditation therapy, whatever it is. You can just listen to my voice right now and do a mini little one as I explain how it works. You basically go into your mind, your thought, your mind's eye, and you go back a little bit. Okay,
as far as you can,
well,
right?
I wouldn't say as far as you can right now. I would say that you're going to end up as far as you can. But you would go back to recent experiences, long-term experiences, childhood experiences, and then as early as you can to remember different places where you felt disempowered, where you felt like you weren't good enough, or you put a program on that didn't serve you. What did that look like, and why was that happening? Now that you're an adult, and now that you've got responsibility over yourself, what would you do were you to experience that situation again? So you can go back there and have this conversation with yourself. And to really go back into your memory, put it right in front of you and say, it's okay. You're not a screw up. You're not a total mess up. Or like myself, I used to call myself a fuck up all the time. Like I was just such a loser. And when I get really angry, I still do that. That negative self-talk is really nasty. And it's because I'm used to failing. I'm used to being a fail in my life. So now that I'm not anymore, and I've got a beautiful woman by my side, wonderful little children, a beautiful house, we're building our next one. The feeling is to think, man, is it safe to not call myself a loser anymore? Is it safe to not fail anymore? Can I give myself permission to succeed a little bit here? Shit, why not? I kept on, and even when I got into Enagic for the first time, any Enagic distributors in here, people are building an Enagic business, I got fired. And I was in a failure, and I'm I'm going to take all of my savings, and I'm going to dump it into a business. My parents were like, are you kidding me? What the hell? You get fired, and you throw away all of your RSPs for this this water machine, oh my God, you've gone off the deep end. Are you on drugs again? And all this stuff. And I'm like, no, trust me, it's going to be good. See, I'm an entrepreneur like you guys and this and that. And my dad's like, you don't have the work ethic. You don't value money. You don't care about the reality of situation. And they were trying to keep me safe. So it's not like, I was mad at them for a little bit. I came around, I understood, I saw their support, and it really, once to come full circle, hindsight is 2020. It's the greatest opportunity that I ever got into. But I had my ass handed to me. All of the crap that I was dealing with in my life came up. It all came up. It all comes out. So when I'm dealing with people, I'm working with them, this is the stuff that comes out. This is not, you're not alone. And I mean, I can imagine people are watching like, true dad, true story, bro. I know what you're talking about. I've been there. And so I'm just going to go scroll through a couple more of these and see. Motivation, laziness, just getting to the things I know I should be doing and not sure why I'm not doing them. It's because at a really weird level, we've been trained to not succeed. And it's like this, shut up and be a happy little hamster. Like, stop trying to step outside of the curve. When I got fired from my job, my cousin got me this job. And I got fired from this job. And, hey, Jillian, what's up? What's going on? Woo woo, an adjective. My cousin got me a job at a call center. Okay, I made $60K. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm used to making $30 to $40K in a year. I make $60K, but I also work like 70 hours a week, 76 hours a week sometimes. Overtime, all the holidays I could. I was top sales. I was mad obsessed because I found a system that I could really sink my teeth into. I overextended my, I guess the power that I had, like as a loyalty care agent. We got to save business. So people are like, I'm going to TELUS, and here I am working for the internet company, being like, no, you're not. I'll match their offer. We'll give you better, but you have to refer me like 3 or 4 of your friends. I want to do business with your family. You got to send them to me. Let's create some power and magic together. Let's turn your household into family, Shaw family. Let's do this. And so, I had a really powerful sales, I was really successful, but then my manager was like, you're only taking this amount of calls and you have this amount of sales. You're cheating, you're lying, you're stealing, you're overstepping your thing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is called innovating. This is called like changing the game. Like you gotta think outside the box, and you gotta and I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. And she's like, you're not out of the woods yet, you're fired. And I'm like, you're kidding me right now. Like, I've been doing the best. I gave you guys 3 years of my life, and you're gonna fire me? And I walked out of that office, the call center, the Shaw Tower downtown for the last time, and I was like, they let go of their best guy, and I'm gonna go on, and I'm gonna do this. I don't care anymore. I'm still gonna do this. And I still got a job. I got a job at Rogers. I spent another 2 years there. But in the meantime, I got into it with my numerology. I got in with my Anagic. I started creating leaders. I started reading books. I went to events. I basically showed up inside of my business piece by piece, step by step, the small little things that I could do until it started to gain momentum. And I'm nowhere near disciplined or ready to go now. I'm just another guy trying to figure his freaking way out in the world, guys. Like I talk better than I experience my life. Okay, so it's not like we're perfect. We're young. We got a lot of energy. We're gonna make stuff happen. I get that. But not without dealing with your big, luggage full of dramas and energy that you waste on your others and yourself first. So when you're hearing the things that my clients are going through, you're not alone, okay? So what did she say here? Laziness, just getting to the things I know I should be doing and not sure why I'm not doing them. I don't know why you're not doing them either, so-and-so, the person who said this. But if you were to stop and think and be like Steph and answer your own question, why aren't you doing them? Like what would you think is the reason why you sabotage yourself? Why do you self-sabotage? And for me, I'm used to being hit. I'm used to being a victim. I'm used to being feel like I'm not good enough. And love and hate come from the same place. The brain doesn't know the difference. It's just a chemical reaction. And if you get hooked on the negative feeling of I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy, this is where your attention comes from. You're going to end up giving this to yourself. It's going to look like a really shit way to eat, a really negative way to treat your time, treat others. oh man, it gets really ugly. So hire a timeline therapist. Talk to me about your numerology. There's my numerology plug. Book your session in with me. We go into this stuff when we talk about this. What else? Who else is in there? Anybody comments? By all means, Sally, did you want to say anything?
No, just we should. Oh, we already asked Steph. We already answered your question.
Yep. So I know another one says believing in myself and stopping smoking for good. This one is a really tough one because I know what it's like to smoke. I used to smoke a lot of weed, basically one to three joints a day. If it was a one joint a day, I'd be like, that would be like a rarity. Usually be like, anywhere from 3 to 6 joints. Sorry, my wife's watching. So the reality is that like I had a really negative habit with smoking. For me, it was like tobacco. And then when I was done smoking, I'd have a cigarillo or a mini cigar because I didn't like smoking. I didn't like the figure of smoking. And I had this hand-to-mouth thing, and then it turned into vaping, which gave me this sugary, juicy feeling inside of my smoke. So it made me feel like I wasn't craving for foods, but I still had this hand-to-mouth thing where I wanted to put something in my mouth. And it's a tick. This is an OCD. This is a program that we're running that has to do with our ability to chemically replace something that our body isn't naturally doing. So instead of you getting the dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, whatever it is, natural body chemical calculator we're getting, we rely on the sugar, we rely on nicotine, we rely on THC, we rely on harder things. I remember doing really crazy drugs in my life. And we basically replace the body's natural ability to create endorphins and the feel good juice or the mojo, because we're subsidizing that with something else. And if you took a crutch and you lifted up your leg and used a crutch instead of your foot would start experiencing problems because it would go through an area of shutdown. So when you're taking the smoke, you're replacing something that, because I don't know about you, but when I used to smoke, I'd be like, oh, I'm super stressed. It's customer, I'm going on my break. And I would go out with my pipe and I'd go have a couple of puffs of my weed and my pipe, and then go back glaze-eyed, go and sit down and be the top salesperson in the call center. Stupid, crazy, right? And there was a culture around that. Everybody smoked weed in my office, so nobody cared. And the reality is that I didn't want to deal with the stress. I wanted to de-stress through chemical means. And another one is food. That still affects me, where I'm going to travel for the sweets. I'm going to grab a quick crunchy snack, or I'm going to eat a negative food. And Sally starts really good, but then she kind of like falters down a little bit and then joins my side. And I'm like, why do I have to be so, like inspiring, that I would inspire you to take your health into a negative state? It's times like this where I look at myself and I appreciate my build. I appreciate who I am. And I like how I look like from like here up. But when it comes to here down, I'm like, just don't worry about this. It's all good. It's just,
love yourself.
And that's what Sally's saying is love yourself. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, even though I don't look great, I still enjoy admiring who I am. And you should take time to do that. And this is where the feel-good drug we really start to come from, is when you give yourself a place to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this. This could be fun. This could be good. This could be a good idea. And then that way you're giving yourself the feel-good response for something that you should be doing. Like, I have to go for a walk. I'm going to take the dog out for a walk. Hey, you know what would be feeling really good? It's if I came back with that burn in my legs to know that I actually exercised and I cycled through as oxygen, and that I actually took some time to go and walk around. Like, that would feel good to know that I actually completed something, instead of just opening the door and let the dog go and crap in the backyard. I would want to go take her out and let her run free and get a little chance to be free in the open air, in the open room. So I start to compile, like compound effects to make them more easier to do. Okay, so if I'm going to do something, I start to list all of the other cool things that are going to happen around this, the good reasons to do them.
Instead of making excuses, because once you start listing excuses, they all add up.
Yeah, like getting the kids
Stopping
involved.
yourself.
They're going to feel like they're getting attention. The stuff gets done. You don't do it all. You feel good after, the house is clean. All of that stuff shows up. You bond with your children, right? And you get a chance to actually like connect with them a little bit. So there's a bunch of cool things that can happen if you just, I want to say manipulate the event to working towards all the things that could be helping you. Okay, so this is one of the really powerful things that I'm showing up with right now, and I can't do this alone. Like I don't believe that it's possible to see yourself from a third person perspective. And when I see my clients, I'm working with them, more often than not, I'm saying things like, "You're showing up like a piece of the universe for me. You get a chance to actually be a trigger or an exposure of the universe that I get a chance to see that shows me what I need to deal with." Because our subconscious is a fickle mistress. This thing will just see and identify the things about you that you don't want to identify with your conscious mind. Hey, Craig, what's going on, my sage? How's it going, my brother? So what you see in others is what you're going to experience in yourself. I know this. I teach this. I say this. I absolutely understand this. But do I live by this? Not always. And I got it nicely handed to me by Craig yesterday when I was working with them, a really powerful coach. If you have the chance to work with them, I absolutely recommend you do. And this feeling was to think that I'm getting my own advice from a friend and a coach and a mentor. And I'm like, of course I wasn't in my right mind. Of course I wasn't in my best place. I was trying to satisfy my ego. I was trying to lick my wounds and have people approach or appreciate the pain that I'm going through, because that's what we do. We want to express our pains together. We want other people to feel the same thing we're feeling, so we don't feel so alone, and we can have our own pity party with other people there. We invite people to it, and there's goodie bags, and there's, oh man, the list goes on about how much you can really take this down and how this can hurt you. So, and it all comes down to what we do to de-stress. So if it's a smoke, or if it's like a rail, like some people do drugs, if it's a blunt, it could be mushrooms, it could be sugar, it could be sweets, it could be an extra Starbucks or an extra 3 Starbucks in a day, it could be anything. It could be whatever it is that you're doing, that your future self will be looking at you being like, well, like you're not going to enjoy later. Your future won't enjoy. Your present moment is going to enjoy. So your future is going to be like, well, you've leveraged me already because you're having fun now. So it means you have to work really hard later. But if your future self is going to be like, thank you so much because I'm enjoying my right now while you had to do the hard work in the now, I appreciate you for that. But I'm here over here in the future, loving life, experiencing it, going where I want, doing what I need to do, having a great time. Thank you, past self. That's what you really want to get into the habit of, is looking at your future self and being like, and Sally was a really big promoter of this, do something that your future self will thank you for. And it's a really powerful feeling. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. And if you need a little bit of help, you're a heavy smoker, don't smoke as much. If you're going to smoke half a smoke. Save half the smoke for later. Every time you want to smoke, like if you're going to smoke 4 times in a day, oh, go for a morning smoke. The next smoke, I'm not going to have it. And then I'm going to go up to the third smoke I'd have. And then the 4th smoke, I'm not going to have it. And smoke literally twice as less or half as much.
Or find a better addiction.
Hey, you know what? One addiction to the other. I've been there. It's like a carousel of stuff that goes down.
Addiction.
A really good addiction, like working out or becoming healthy.
Be obsessed into something.
Yeah, be obsessed with becoming great. Be obsessed with doing something powerful for your family. Be obsessed with seeing success in other people, seeing success in yourself. That's a wonderful thing to be obsessed about. So cool. Okay, we've come to the end of our time together, guys. Super, super blessed to be able to share this with you. I feel energized being able to come out and do this for you guys. Sally, I love this. Jillian saying that. Absolutely. It's a wonderful feeling. And honestly, it keeps her motivated to do that. I'll just quickly, I guess this is the credits. Brought to you here by Bobby F. Perryhard's BobbyFPerryhard.xyz. You guys can come and book me in at any time. I'm going to drop my link into the page here. So when you come to see me, just say, hey, I see you on Your Ultimate Mastermind, and I got an extra gift for you. Okay, so if you want, I'll give you a special gift for watching this live or watching this recording, whether it be a replay on YouTube, Facebook. If you book in with me, I have a special gift for you, and you're definitely going to love it. But just let me know, hey, I see you on Your Ultimate Mastermind, and this is how you work with me. There are all other ways to work with us. You're awesome, Bobby. So great. So gratified. I appreciate you, Fran. You're awesome. Franny, Granny, Franny. And then we also have Sally here. Now, Sally is going to be one of my power partners in success. And I'm just going to quickly put her page here, Lifestyle by Sally. Oh, I don't have it here because we haven't used it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to drop this in. And this is how you work with Sally. Or work with both of us, really, because we do this together. And so what we have is an ability for you to be able to live life on your own terms and really become an affiliate marketer, and also containing the values of mastery and mentors to be able to find people. Oh, man, I can't type. To find people who can actually help you get to where you want to go in life. This is Lifestyle by Sally, okay? So this is us. We're a power couple. We basically do this all the time. We come out here once or twice a week. This is our mastermind. So what we do here is we want this to speak for our team. So if you're inside of my team, inside of my organization, and this is your weekly training of what other people are dealing with inside of the business, how people get a chance to go on about themselves, what shows up as powerful for them. And it's basically how to really put yourself together inside of this business, and so you know that we're involved and that we're invested and that we're here to help see you grow. Now, I know there's a larger family outside of my my Enagic business. There are you guys, my audience, my clients, the other people in GAZ and GPM, my family, people that I've known for a while, really good friends of mine like Renata, okay, like people that I've known for years now that are all part of this journey with me. You're more than welcome to everything of mine, anything of mine. My door is always open for you guys. We're family. I will embrace you guys with hugs and kisses, and it's going to be a wonderful growing experience. You guys are aunts and uncles to my children, and I appreciate you guys so much. Everything that you guys have done for me in my lives. Absolutely.
Carol saying thank you.
Sorry?
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Steph is saying thanks, guys. I appreciate you. And so, yeah, we've got a really strong team that we're growing, whether it be in numerology, in affiliate marketing, in personal development, in personal coaching, wealth coaching. Follow us. You can see me at youtube.com/bell169. This is my YouTube channel. Hey, Holly, how's it going? And subscribe. I will be posting the replays onto my YouTube as usual because I'm building a massive content library. Would love for you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay tuned for the post. I will put that there inside of there. We're also going to come back in a couple of days. I think it's Friday, and do Your Ultimate podcast, where we basically do more of this. Yeah. I guess really it's turned into this as well, just twice a week. But Your Ultimate podcast is another place for us just to share our story and to share the growth with us and to really help us move forward. I feel like I do a lot of the talking, but Sally, you're kind of okay
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, she's here as a really powerful support. She makes me look good. So I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you guys so much as well for being a part of my life and part of my success. And if you're dealing with this, like the biggest problem that you're experiencing in your life or dealing with is a challenge, just know you're not the only one dealing with it. You're not the only one going through it. Give yourself a bit of a break. Make yourself known. If you put it on social media, you'll get support. Other people will share their story with you as well. And if not, then I guess you've got some growing to do. It's just the way that life works. Like we sometimes we want the support we don't get. Sometimes we get the support we don't want. But all things are divine inside of this planet or inside of this existence. So I think there's a purpose for everything. And we can't wait to see you guys grow with us. Special mentions out to the teams I'm about to work with. Diva Boss Tribe, thank you for letting me use some of your problems. Wolfpack, cannot wait to work with you guys as well later on this month. especially Freedom Team. We're going to be doing a really powerful group event for you guys. We're throwing together a mastery group. It's going to be nuts. Whatever your thing is. Also, me and Craig are doing a really powerful thing as well. We're going to do like a combo where you get a couple sessions with him, a couple sessions with me. Starting to partner up with other coaches. It's really powerful. Live events is a little bit in the future right now, but we are going to do some stuff. And Holly, woohoo, Freedom Team, absolutely. So love you guys, appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. We're going to stop the recording, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Okay?
Bye.
Yeah. Take care.